Here we have what I believe to be the two finest Clovis artifacts ever discovered. Since my discovery of Paleo storystone face and mammoth effigies, I discovered they were made out of every kind of stone on planet Earth, and I soon realized, shortly after my discovery in October of 2020, what I call Paleo storystone face and mammoth effigies, that they were made out of this volcanic glass. This volcanic glass had gone unnoticed prior to my discovery that it was used in association with making these beautiful Paleolithic effigies. This glass comes from Indonesia, comes from Arizona, comes from China, but this glass here comes from Mount Shasta. This is Mount Shasta volcanic glass. This volcanic glass has been tested, and X-ray fluorescence testing has been performed on this type of glass used for these Paleolithic effigies in the geology department, geology lab of Stephen F. Austin State University in Austin, Texas. And the three samples tested, yellow, green, and blue, all tested out to be naturally occurring volcanic glass and not man-made glass. This was sold on the market also known as Andara glass. Some Andara glass is man-made glass, but the Andara glass that was used for Paleolithic effigies made over 12,000 years ago is actually scientifically proven volcanic glass. Nobody knew about these effigies prior to my discovery in October of 2020, and I have amassed a large collection of them from every kind of stone known on the planet and from every continent except Antarctica. And I've traced them back to Homo habilis some 2 million years ago. But these are Clovis. These are Clovis bifaces. They're preforms. They're Clovis preforms. They're in the shape of a Clovis preform, and we know that they're not modern because they're Paleo storystone face and mammoth effigies. And these effigies were only made during the Paleolithic period. Now, since my discovery, flint knappers have not been reproducing these. I don't even think flint knappers know about these. But once they become aware of them, they may try to duplicate them. However, the grooving and the etching that our Paleo Indians performed on flake stone, obsidian, citrine quartz, rose quartz crystal, citrine quartz crystal, etching on meteorites, the patterned etching for the hair of the mammoth and the hair of the human faces will be very difficult for flint knappers to be able to master. I guarantee you that. And I'll be able to tell modern from ancient forever because I was the one that discovered these, and I know what ancient workmanship looks like. So what we have here, and I've found literally hundreds of these over the last 40 years, especially 20, 30 years ago. These were found on the surface of some of the shoreline of Pleistocene Lake Mannix. And that's a Clovis preform, just like these, and of similar shape. This one is thinner because it's probably stage 4, 3 or 4, on a scale of 5, maybe. This one here is a stage 1, an early preform. These are early stage preforms. And what we have here in this one is the eye of a face and the nose over here looking off to the right. And he's a horned shaman. That's what that is, that spike. They wanted that looked like a horned shaman. Then we have the younger face. That's the younger face, powerful face with the nose there. Then we have the older face with this the eye, or this the eye looking off this way. And then we have beautiful mammoth imagery when we look at it horizontally. But I've done a couple of videos on this one here, which are already posted to YouTube. So I want to concentrate on this beauty right here. What we have is a chip right out of here. Boom. The Paleo Indians chip that, and that's the nose and mouth down here of the younger face looking off to the right. And then when we have that same eye right here, this is the eye here, the older face with this the nose and the open mouth, which is typical of the older face looking off to the left. And the hairdo up here has all been beautifully flaked. Oh, the top of the head has been beautifully paleo flaked. Look at that. And the edges have been ground. So this has been flaked and ground. and made, look at the grooving on this, on the back of the mammoth, the hair on the back of this mammoth. See, this is a baby mammoth now facing off to the right. That's an excellent baby mammoth there facing off to the right. And let's go over here and take a look at it in this light as well. We can see all that beautiful grooving. That's patterned grooving and etching all along the back there of that edge that our Paleo-Indian ancestors flaked into the stone. And you can see the eye flaked out right there. And it's beautifully etched everywhere. Those are all grooves. When you look at them through a 10-power loop, those are all grooved into the surface. And the bigger ones, like that one there, like that one right there in the middle, when they get bigger like that, that's not just one groove. That's 2 or 3 or 4 lines that they put together to make one groove. That's how sophisticated these Paleo-Indians were in imaging the hair of the faces and the mammoths. And then they ground all the edges of the piece. So all the flaking scar edges are ground and around the perimeter. Now we have that mammoth, the baby mammoth, facing off to the right. Hair up above its back there, all along its backside, been flaked. And then when we turn it this way, this is big. These are 10 inches long. These are 10-inch long Clovis bifaces from Mount Shasta, California. Now we have the mature mammoth facing off to the left. That's the mature mammoth now, facing off to the left. And its back sloping here. It's just been beautifully, that's all hair that's been engraved. They engraved all that hair there. That's all engraving lines there. All done over 12,000 years ago. Clovis would have been between 12 and 14,000 years ago, and that's when this was made. And these etching lines are everywhere. Look at all the etching in the flaking ripples. They actually enhance them by etching them like that. I have thousands of artifacts from around the world that I've acquired since my discovery. And this is just one of them. But it's obviously a Clovis biface, and it's from Mount Shasta, which is where this beautiful Lady Nellie Cash was discovered in the late 60s. And these have been sold as just natural rough. People don't know that sell this, that these are artifacts. They don't know that this has been flaked. The people that sell these, they don't know that this has been flaked or etched or formed into any shape like that at all. They just think it's nature made like that. But in any event, I just wanted to share another outstanding Clovis biface Paleo Storystone face and mammoth effigy, and we know they're authentic because they're Paleo Storystone effigies that are flaked and etched and grooved and ground. And they're made just like, well, they're made with Clovis workmanship and in the form of Clovis artifacts. So again, a couple of beauties, 10 inches long, made out of Mount Shasta volcanic glass that were produced by our Clovis Indian ancestors some 12 to 14,000 years before present, and left as offerings.